The new S-Class, the new luxury, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.
Coastal Contract says a consortium led by its JV company, Coastal Dynamic, has secured a gas conditioning plant construction project in Mexico worth 4.5 billion ringgit. It said that Coastal had inked a service agreement with Pemex Exploración y Producción, a subsidiary of Mexican state-owned petroleum company Petróleos Mexicanos. The job is an onshore gas conditioning plant project, namely the EMC Papan plant, with a capacity of 300 million standard cubic feet per day on the Isachi field, 26 kilometers northeast from Tierra Blanca in the state of Veracruz. The scope of work of the contract comprises engineering, procurement, construction, operation and maintenance of the gas conditioning plant and its related infrastructure. The firm period for this contract is 3,902 days, including the construction period of 250 days and the operation and maintenance period of 10 years. The plant should commence operations by the first quarter of FY23. The contract is expected to contribute positively to Coastal's earnings and net assets for FY22 and the subsequent financial periods for the duration of the contract. Pestech International has won the tender from Malaysia Airports Holdings for the development of an automated people mover or APM aerotrain project and associated works in KLIA for 742.95 million ringgit. In a filing, Pestech said its subsidiary accepted the letter of award from Malaysia Airports Sabang for the works in relation to design, supply, installation, testing and commissioning for the APM and related works. The project involves the replacement of APM vehicles, power supply, communication and signalling systems, station APM equipment, maintenance facilities and equipment, among others. The group said the rehabilitation works of the existing 1.2 kilometers of APM infrastructure will be implemented, while the service of the APM between the main terminal building and Satellite A terminal is to be maintained under minimal interruption during all phases of the project. According to Pestech, the contract is under Option 2, which includes financing and operation and maintenance from March 14, 2025 until February 11, 2034. Development of the project will take 3 years, starting from March 14, 2022. Sunway Construction Group or Suncon has secured 2 letters of intent for jobs worth 385 million ringgit in total for the design, engineering, procurement, construction, testing and commissioning of solar PV energy generating facilities. In a Bursa Malaysia filing today, the group said it received a letter of intent from Gopeng subsidiary GBS Surya for the construction of a solar PV energy generating plant, LSS4 Project 1 in Kampar Perak for 200 million ringgit. According to Suncon, the scheduled commercial operation date of the plant is December 31st, 2023, as required by the Energy Commission of Malaysia. The group also secured similar construction work, LSS4 Project 2 in Klang Selangor for 185 million ringgit and said it shall be completed on December 31st, 2023 as well. Both contracts are expected to contribute positively to Suncon's bottom line for FY22. It's at total new projects awarded this year, including the LSS4 projects, amount to 1.47 billion ringgit. Genanga Research says an increasing number of value stocks have emerged, as evidenced by the negative returns in many sectors following the broad sell-off in 2021. However, the research firm's head, Goh Huat Soon, expects many among them to remain trapped in value given the lack of catalysts and poor macro and regulatory environment weighing them down. These include the property and construction sectors. Despite a sharp fall in the price-to-earnings ratio from a year ago, the research firm maintained its neutral call for these 2 sectors. Meanwhile, sectors with value include oil and gas, REITs, consumer and gaming, as they could benefit from the faster-than-expected pace of the economic reopening. Among the research house's top picks is Dialog Group, which trades at almost 30% discount to the sum of parts of RM3.50. Banks are also naturally beneficiaries of the reopening theme, Kenanga said, with the research house's top picks being RHB Bank, which among others has the added appeal of being one of the sector's best dividend yielders at 5%, and Alliance Bank Malaysia, which had the highest earnings upgrade post-results among banks and could see the best earnings delivery among its peers. Kenanga expects the overnight policy rate to stay at 1.75% during the first half of 2022 and says that with the key interest rate and local bond yields remaining low in the near term, the investment landscape looks safe for yield stocks. Its year-end target for the FBM KLCI is 1,654 points. Malaysia is seeking $3 million, or about 12.6 million ringgit, from the UN Green Climate Fund, or GCF, Reuters reports, to develop a national plan to adapt to climate change. The Newswire said the funds requested are paltry relative to the 9.8 billion ringgit the country has pledged to spend on flood mitigation efforts, though experts say the plan's implementation would likely cost much more. Since December 18th, torrential rain has caused flooding that killed at least 48 people and displaced some 70,000 people. Malaysians are now bracing for a second wave of flooding, with continuous rain expected this week. Reuters said, in response to questions sent to the Environment and Water Ministry on Malaysia's approach to climate adaptation, Sekjen Datuk Sri Zaini Ujang replied the ministry will request for the GCF funds to help develop a national adaptation plan by the end of 2022. The plan will focus on areas such as water, agricultural and food security, public health, forestry and infrastructure. The ministry reportedly also has long-term plans to request for climate funds that can assist in implementing programs addressing the impacts of climate change.
This program was brought to you by Mercedes-Benz.